we're getting ready to do a flat top. He said he don't want to talk in the video. So I'm gonna leave him alone. I'm gonna do all the talking. And I think it's gonna be pretty fun, man. So you guys, thank you for tuning in to my Barber World channel. So what we're gonna do is on the sides, we're gonna do a shadow fade. And he said he wants the top real tall. So we're gonna, first and foremost, pick this thing out because we need some volume up here. I might loosen it up a little bit. Shout out to Astay Heavenly Foam. Gonna put some of this in here. Gonna make it a little easier. So this stuff, I love it because it's not oily at all, man. It feels like overwhelming when you first rub it in, but if you keep rubbing, it just disappears. Like literally, it's no oil whatsoever. And now we're gonna go ahead. I used to try to pick this stuff dry and get nowhere. So now I'm gonna put a little more on here. We'll rub it together. We're gonna get these sides now. Want to loosen this stuff up. See, now we got real volume up here, man. He didn't pick this hair before he came, right? I like that honesty. One tip, if you're a client watching this, you definitely can help your hair cut out by picking it, combing it before you come to the shop. It'll make life easier for you, your barber, to make the time go by because you'll spend less time doing this. But you know what? It's all good. It's part of the barbering world. And whatever we got to do, we just got to do it. Now we're going to do some more in the front. It's really important before you get going to make sure to come around and pick those sides outward again. Lately, I've been messing with these Cocos. This is new for me. I like them because they have really been knocking the hair down like super efficiently. I'm gonna go all the way open, which will give me a 1 length. That 1 length, I'm gonna stop it right about here so I can still have some fade room up in here, okay? I want fade room. And I'm not worried about it. Good morning. I'm not worried about it too much because I'm gonna taper out the bottoms to make it look even more dramatic. So they're all the way open. And then I'm gonna make it dip down a little bit because, you know, I'm from the 90s, man, the 80s and 90s. And, you know, that just used to be a cold look, man, when that flat top dipped down a little bit right there. So we're still gonna fade it up, but it's just gonna give it that dramatic look. Have a good one, man. Enjoy your weekend. So what I'll do is I'll make sure this is straight, and then that'll make it easier for me to meet the other side at it. And as you can see, I'm going up, but then I'm cross-cutting. I always use that cross-cut because it's gonna get the hair much more even. All right, so then I'm gonna go ahead and face them towards me, and I'm gonna measure where that line is, starts, and then I'm gonna use that same point over here. So now I know I can meet that. I'll lean them over a little bit. All right, so all of that bulk is gonna really be knocked down, so I'm not too worried about that. I got my base length at the bottom right here. So I'm gonna dust this off. Bam, bam, bam. And then what I'm gonna do is knock that bulk down. I'm gonna fade that bulk in right now. I should be able to do a 1 and get away with it. Sometimes I'll be a little safe and I'll come with the 1.5. But today I'm just gonna cut right into it. We're gonna go straight to the 1.5. So we're gonna do the 1 guard, put that 1 on there. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm literally gonna close it and I'm gonna come up with it. So I'm only coming up about 1/4 to 1/2 inch because then I'm gonna come up with the 1 guard in a minute. Sometimes I'm super careful, so I'll do this open first. But right now, I'm showing you another approach. This is the more aggressive, just knock that next line out approach. A lot of times mentally it's hard to accept that because you feel like you're going so high. But you gotta understand with practice, repetition, you'll start to learn that you could get the same results cutting some of these steps out. All right, so now You can see we got new bulk now because I done shaved that bulk down. So I'm gonna open it up now. Now I'm kind of knocking that bulk line out with them open. Again, you gotta trust the process, man. It's gonna work. Knock that corner a little bit because there's gonna be some freestyle work happening in here pretty soon. So I'm gonna bring them around and we're gonna do the same thing on this side. Go knock that bulk line out, close them up. This will get them out of here quicker too if you guys are doing this kind of step. I'm very meticulous, so again, normally, most times I'll start this with them open, with the lever open all the way. But I'm showing you a way to quickly cut through the bulk. Just laying down, I'm gonna open it all the way up. And I'm kind of going at an angle. I'll call it cross-cutting again. The cross-cutting, man, it's important to know that it's gonna happen a lot. It's gonna be necessary a lot. We've literally knocked out a bunch of that bulk. Like technically you could just go up and start knocking this flat top down, but we're not gonna do that. We're gonna go up one more notch. Let me clean my clippers off, clean my client off too. And then we're gonna go with the one guard. I'm gonna take the same approach. So let's be real though. You don't need it as much over here anymore because it's kind of already laid down. If you notice right when we get here, it gets bulkier again right here. So this is where I'll start getting more aggressive. And then back here, it gets super aggressive. So we're gonna knock that out harder. But here, we're just gonna skim it right here. I'll close them up. So up here, we're just skimming. See, I could already tell this gonna look cold right here when it's time to do the lineup. So I'm just getting in there, getting the beginning of that little bolt. And technically, I could have left this alone even more and had a more wider flat top, but I'm gonna make them super tight and snug. This is where we wanna start knocking the bulk down. I'm gonna turn them a little bit, put them down some. And then you could, sometime I'll even go with the grain with this, but right now we're gonna stick with against the grain. Bam, you can see that bulk knocking out now. And then we're gonna do the same process. We're gonna open it up. You wanna comb with the wider tooth part of the comb at this part, on this bulky area. So now I'm gonna stay open all the way and I'm gonna go with the grain and knock this bulk down. I'm gonna close it up halfway. I'm gonna go with the grain again. And I'm stopping right here because this is where the bulk is at. Here, it's not bad at all. So I'm going with the grain, knocking it in, bam. It's laying in there good, man. It's laying in there real good. And now, all right, so we back on it. We're gonna close them up. We're gonna do the same thing on this side. We're gonna knock that bulk, knock the bottom out of that bulk. Don't forget, this part, this is the easiest head part of the head to fade most of the time. So usually you don't need to go hard right there. Back here is where that bulk, that weight starts to, really come in. Boom, starting to look nice, boy. And we're moving quick, because I'm a slow cutter, you know what I mean? Have a good weekend, man. I'm a very detailed cutter, so I'm tedious, man. So for me, I need to learn these steps to speed up. That's why not always, that's why I've looked at a lot of different barbers' techniques in my own shop, on YouTube, everywhere, and I've picked up techniques that I've incorporated in my cut style. All right, so we're gonna open it up now. Don't be scared, y'all. Usually nothing really looks good until you get to the end. So don't worry about it not looking good during the haircut. But I promise you, at the end of this, we're gonna be cold. Like when I say we're gonna be cold, we're gonna be clean. Cause my guy in this chair, he don't play about his hair. He want his stuff. He come in know what he want. So now we're gonna do the same thing. It's open. We're gonna go with the grain. And you can see it's just really debulking it really nicely, man. Like it's really, especially back here, this is where the hair just is real cluttered and bunched up. But you gotta be patient, man. You can't expect to stroke over that one time and it's just gone. You know what I mean? You gotta be patient and don't push it. So I'm more sticking with staying in my stroke. It's like golf. I'm following through with the same stroke. I'm not digging and doing all of that. Nah, we're going straight. straight in it. Just sometimes with the repetition though, you get so good at it that it looks like you're going super fast and all that. Don't worry about all that. Let that happen naturally. First, get your steps down. Have your technique and your process together. I could technically stop right now and just start shaping it, but I'm gonna go a little more. I'm gonna close it up some because I want to dig in this bulk area. I'm gonna close it all the way now. Sometimes I'm closing it without even showing you, so I have to remember to tell you what I've done. Just habit, man. You do this stuff so much. Sometimes you do things without even thinking. It's like built into your memory. Shout out to Coco's. I'm really enjoying these. You know, my favorite clipper of all time is the fast feeds. They just, I don't think they ever went cordless for me, so I'm real serious about cordless clippers. But yeah, this has been a nice one, man. This has been very thorough. It really, I don't know. It's a machine for sure. So right here, sometimes you have to get out of the order of what you're doing because you see something. So you gotta look at here too. Don't just do the steps. So there was a bulky area that just wasn't coming over here. Wasn't doing what I needed it to do. So I closed it and I dug into it a little bit. And I could always fix it on the shape up too. I'm gonna come back with some of this stuff, man, and we're gonna clean this up with some of our previous guards, our one and all of that. And this thing about to be fire, boy. So now I'm just going around with it closed with this one guard, and I'm just doing any debulking I could do. So now we're gonna go around with the one and we're gonna lay all that down. Let me clean my guy off though. Gotta clean him off. I want my guy to be comfortable. I don't want him uncomfortable doing his haircut. We got to be comfortable, man. And he on spring break kicking it too, man. So we're gonna throw this one back on here. And I'm gonna knock some of this bulk down right here. So I got them all the way open. As you can see, you see that line. You see it starting to, see how it just lay in there now? And I'm gonna get this up here too because I'm thinking about how I want my lineup to look. And I want this area in here really tight. Now sometime back when I was a kid and we did flat tops, you know, we would leave this strong and let the hair come from there. And you could do it that way too. Me, I wanted this super tight in here because I want his lining to look like 2024. All right, so I'm gonna open it up. Some areas, there'll just be a little bulk area where I don't need to lay the whole thing down. So then I'll just use that corner. If it's big, if it's wide areas of bulk like this, sometimes I'll lay it flat again and skim it a little bit. It's almost like nothing now though, it's just coming out. I'm gonna close it up for this little area. So this is my detail work, y'all. On the detail work, I can't tell you to just like, oh, go through it with it open. Nah, I open, I close, I open, I close. Now I'm really looking at the hair and I'm seeing, oh, this little piece right here didn't get cut, or oh, this little piece is still bulky right here, or oh, this whole wide area needs me to, you know, stroke it. So all the way open. So I'm gonna just say what I'm, you know, where I have the lever to kind of help you, because instead of stopping and keep showing you. So it's all the way open right now. Y'all let me know in the comments too, do y'all cut a whole head first? I mean, do you do a whole head all together, or do you do one side at a time? I don't know, I would love to know what I do. I just do what I do, but I think I guess my style, I don't really do one side at a time. Like some people will finish the whole side before they go to the other side. I feel like my transition from one side to the other is better when I do it all together instead of one side. So this is laying nice. So I'm gonna close this a little bit and get this bottom area. You gotta be careful too to not get aggressive and mess up all the work you did up there. So I'm gonna open it up halfway, get this little bulky area. That stuff looking nice. All right, I'm gonna close it, go with the grain a little bit, but I'm gonna be real gentle. Getting all that little in between the flat top and in between the fade hair out of there. Laying this down. And what's gonna look cool, y'all, is I'm gonna taper this out. So right now I don't look like nothing fancy, but when I shape this thing and I taper him out right there, it's gonna be so much harder. And we're not doing no enhancements today. I'm not against enhancements. I think enhancements are cool when necessary, but this is gonna be an all natural cut. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be some people that could see a need for enhancements in this cut. That's fine. And I'm hoping this could help out some people that's trying to get their flat top game together, get their shadow taper game together. So I'll probably come back with no guard and lay that down. All right, we're gonna do the same thing on this side. Do that detail work. I'm gonna open it all the way up. See, that's a big bulky area right there. See, I can tell that's gonna lay nice once I go over it. It's so funny, man. I used to have people that I cut with ask me, how do you do this and how you do that? And I was like, man, I don't know how to explain it. I'll just be like, just watch. And now I'm grateful that I've learned how to, it's an opportunity to video this kind of stuff and talk through it and explain what I'm doing. And hopefully y'all could appreciate me doing it live instead of the voiceover. Which my first video that went viral, I did just do a voiceover and it was great. But I like this better. I feel like I could get y'all more content quicker by doing this. Let's go with this grain right here. So I can see this side is a little bulkier up front up here than the other one, so I'm gonna get a little more aggressive in here. I love how that transition is starting to lay right here. Yeah, man, we starting to look way. So now that's laying so nice, I'm gonna go ahead and start. Let me open it up, I don't wanna be too aggressive. Close it up a little bit, get those corners. So there's one more line waiting to happen with the half guard right there. That's when it's really gonna act up. So this is the back is the hardest area to fade because it is just the thickest, most resistant hair. So I like to spend a little extra time back here. Most people like to do the front more because that's what we're gonna see. But I feel like the front gonna look cold regardless. There's no way I'm letting you walk out like that. So I'd rather spend that time and energy back here. That way somebody see this cut from the front, side, back, whatever. Let's debulk some of this stuff up in here. Boy, I'm getting excited about this one. I could actually, I'm telling you, I could see what the lineup gonna look like. I could see what all that's gonna look like. Close these up, lay this back down, boy. And then what I like to do is I'm gonna look in my mirror, double check him, make sure what my eyes are showing me is looking, ooh, it's looking cold in the mirror. All right, so I'm gonna clean my clippers off, I'm gonna dust my guy off, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my half guard on, and I'm gonna come up and I'm gonna start knocking. Let me show you. It's not a consistent line left, but this is where it's at. You're not taking it up here, because if you take it up here, you're about to have a whole new haircut to start on. So you have to remember that my first line, I was down here. So everything under here is a 1. So that half guard is gonna help transition that, like this right here. See that? It's gonna help transition that on this side. This one, it'll help transition right here, right there. That's gonna be the half guard right there. And then I may line them and then taper them out so that taper could really be boxed into an area real tight. We're gonna go with the half guard. Don't forget, if it's already faded, don't work so hard on it. So I want it to kind of stay dramatic up here, and then I want it to be almost like a little bursty in there. So I'm gonna knock it out with it closed. I'm just touching the bottom of it with it closed. I can see right now I need to open it up. And the reason I say that is because some people, it'll cut a little more aggressive than others. It's aggressive on him. So I don't want to lose that fade. So I'm gonna open it up a little bit and I'm gonna do a tad bit longer strokes. And don't worry about it disappearing, because guess what? When I come back with no guard, that's when it's really gonna disappear. It's patience, y'all. So now I got it halfway open and I'm just laying it on there. All right, let's get these corners. We're gonna knock this thing out in here. So Instead of going all the way around this time, I'm gonna finish this side up, the fade now. And what I'm gonna do is go with the grain, with it all the way open with no guard on here. And I'm just laying it into it, laying this bulk into the one area. Gotta be careful, gotta be gentle. I'm just touching hairs that I don't want to show up in my lineup. So now I'm gonna come back up and I'm just touching the bottom of that ever so gently. And this time I am kind of scooping off of the head just a little bit. I'm gonna go with the grain and lay all this down the way I want it to be. Because now it's gonna be time to shape it up and line it up. So we're gonna do the same thing over here. We're gonna throw that guard on. This side you'll be able to see it a little better. Just knocking that bottom. I can see I'm gonna need the corner right here. And I'm gonna go with the grain. It's starting to lay the way I like it now, boy. Yep. All right, so I'm gonna pop that half guard off. I'm gonna go with the grain a little bit. Actually, that's probably what I should have done on the other side. When it's that close, if you go with the grain, sometimes that's when the magic happens. Sometimes, believe it or not, I still forget little tips until I really get moving in it. Once you've made those two meet so closely, man, with the grain, just make it butter. So we're gonna come over here and try to catch up with that other side a little bit. I think that side did lay a little bit better because of me doing that. Like you can even see it popping out right here. So now it's time for the fun part, man. Shape this thing. So what I'm gonna do first is shape the sides. I'm gonna start with it open. I'm gonna see how the hair does. And usually it's not good enough, so I'm gonna go halfway close. And now you just wanna take your time, man. This is a part where I would say don't rush so you can really get the effect that you really, oh man, but you gotta keep your client from moving though. So what we wanna do, we wanna get this thing shaped. All right, don't worry about the top yet. Just come up. Any bulky areas, come back over it. Come right. So like this is a bulky area, for example. This is already good down here. I don't want to go too hard on that. So I'll skim this, but then I'll lean a little bit into the hair, right in that bulky area. You really want to pay attention up close to how your clippers cut at different angles and all of that. Angles mean so many different things when it comes to cutting hair. Like it could be angled this way or outward or using the corners. Be careful from quick movements, Onyx, because we could cut your hair, your flat top off, boy. That'll be a horrible video. We'll have to change the title. I don't even know what we'll call it. I don't even want to think of that name. Yeah, when I'm doing one area, I'm always running into something else that I need to touch on. So you'll see me focus on this and then all of a sudden, because, you know, I'm looking at the transition all over. If you ain't realized by now, man, hair is an art. Haircut and hairstyling. It's an art, man. So it's your chance to be artistic and throw that paint on your canvas. Now, when I used to have a flat top when I was younger, I used to actually do a little bar, like cut a little space out. And it's funny because I did that way before that was like a style. I see people doing it with their, their dreads, their locks. But man, I was doing that way back then. But today, I'm not gonna cut that so much. I'm gonna actually leave him with just a hard, flat line in the front. And just a little tip, y'all. Just imagine being this person sitting here getting cut and all this hair is falling in your face. For the sake of video, I'm letting it fall, but usually I cut hair and I'll put my hand here as a courtesy because I think it's super uncomfortable to be sitting there with that hair all in your face. So in this case, I'm gonna brush my guy off because I need him to be comfortable, man. I don't want him uncomfortable. So now now that I've started to shape this top, I'm really coming in here to separate the lineup area from the flat top. That right there is gonna make a big difference when I line this up, man. Like, I'm really thinking about my ending result, like what I want to happen at the end. I'm not even lost in it. I know exactly where we're going with this. But that line, that's gonna look hard right there. So I cut that area out on purpose. I'm just doing like almost closed, 1 notch open. It's cutting super sharp, but still got a little leeway in case he moves a little or my hand jerks a little bit. So now I'm doing the same thing in this corner, separating it from the flat, separate my lining area from the flat top. Man, I'm so excited. I'm so excited I gotta make myself slow down for the precision, man, because I just love doing these kind of cuts. So I'm gonna open it up, I'm gonna come back, and I'm gonna go with the grain a little bit right here. Same thing, knock some of this bulk down. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is turn them towards the mirror because I wanna get that front, that box lined up real good. So almost close. My first thing I'm gonna do, I want this point to meet this point because no matter what, I can't make the sides come any higher. So usually we have a higher point in the middle of the head. So we try to preserve it, but you might as well just knock that down. So I'm really attacking the middle area the most. This is gonna be the lowest point. These sides are gonna be the lowest point. This is gonna be the lowest point in the back. So I'm gonna get that middle knocked out because you'll spend all day trying to, wishing you could make that look any different. You can't. It just is what it is. The hair usually grows more in the middle. Let's go ahead and dig all of that out. Let's get that middle super flat so it can be super dramatic. I want it to look dramatic. We're not meeting it halfway. Nah, we're finding out where, for real. Where's my lowest points? So I can look in that mirror now, I see we getting somewhere. Ooh, you see how tall it is, man? You like that? All right, here we go. But we do have a low point over here, so I'm gonna come and get to this low point. So I'm gonna come to this side and check my low point too. Now, one of my biggest problems is I am a perfectionist. So to be real with you, I could sit here and do this all damn day. But over time I learned there's rules to this and you can't do it all damn day. So I do have to get to a stopping point because honestly, man, I'm a person where when I first start cutting hair, man, and some of y'all probably had the same thing, man, I would cut the hair for hours just to get it right. So now, instead of going upwards, I'm actually going on the sides of it, I'm going backwards because now I'm shaping up, I'm making the consistency this way now. We always think upward, but I need this to flow. So from where I have it even set right here, I need this to flow into this. These are the things that when I say it'll show up in ways that you can't really see until you step back and look at the whole damn thing. So what I will do, I will come back with some scissors. Shout out to Hanzo's Shears. About to definitely touch him up with some of that. I think I do see a little middle point. I'm gonna go ahead and close him all the way for this. I need to be a little more aggressive right here. Line it up now. He is good now, man. We looking golden. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find my highest point on my ear that I wanna line and that I don't wanna go any higher than. And then I'm gonna start arching it around and then I'm gonna bring it up to the front. So now I've made my little arch line. Now I can clean up everything under it. And I like to flip the clipper upside down because under the ear is very sensitive and don't nobody wanna be cut there because the damn thing hurts for a long time. So I'm looking at that whole shape that I want to meet right there. I already see this is where I want to be. And I'm gonna taper all that out, so I'm not even tripping. But look how clean he look. Look how clean that boy look, boy. I couldn't have got a better model for this, man. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna lay that down a little more because I really, really want this to be dramatic right here. This is the point where most of this work could be all done with the grain. Don't push this too hard. I'm literally just tapping it. Thank you, my guy. Yeah, we compliment each other haircuts up here, man. World-class faders, Sacramento, California, boy. For right now, though, because we're gonna be coming to many more places. Trust and believe. So I could already see where I want his line to be. You could almost see the C shape in there. Hold them still, hold them still. And be very light, to be honest with you. These are my favorite trimmers ever. These are the Bablis Effects. Shout out to Bablis. You can see the wear and tear on them, boy. I done wore that gold off on them. I'm not gonna worry about this line being so hard because I'm planning to taper them out. I'm just using this as a guide. If you clean that sideburn stuff up, it just make it look so much cleaner. So boom. And I'm gonna go ahead and hit them with that corner right there, that point. Knock some of that bulk down again. Soft repetition and patience, man. This could look like it's enhanced, you know what I'm saying? The little details. I'm not even gonna put a razor on this head. I'm not even gonna put a shaver on this head for the bald areas. So I'm gonna cut that little thing out. And I'm jumping the gun. Normally I would have finished the whole lineup on both sides, then went and did this, come back and taper them out, but that's what we're doing today. Boom, so that's gonna be my taper area. All right, so we're gonna do the same thing on this side. We're gonna find that high point. Good morning, family, good morning. Then I'm gonna find that same little area right here. You already see where you want it to line up. Knock that out, let it come up in there. Meet where I left off on that little circle right there, that rounded shape. And we're gonna clean all that up. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look at where that point starts on this side. And we're gonna make sure we get it as close as possible to the other side. Man, these Bablis, man, I just got this new blade. These things is hitting. I mean, they hit. I'm gonna bring them up just a little bit. I think the other side is just a tad bit higher. They don't have to be perfect for me. They just have to be in the same neighborhood and looking symmetrical. We're gonna lay that down too. Debulk some of this. Boom. He in there now. Now we wanna make sure, so what I'll do is I'll take my comb, I'll see that the line starts on that part of the eye over here, so I'll try to do the same thing and get it as close as possible to the other one. This one might be a little bit too forward, so I'm gonna just that bottom. Yeah, it was a little too hard angle. That point. Okay, so then what I'm gonna do is face him towards the mirror again. Again, I'm very picky, man, so I like the hair in the front to be kind of similar lengths too. So I'm gonna find the highest point. He got a little light area right here, and I'm gonna make that my guide. All right, look down for me. All right, these are super sharp, so I don't want to make his skin hella agitated or red, so I'm going very gentle upside down. And technically, I could have done this earlier, but I do like to make sure y'all know there's more than one way to do these things. So hopefully you do like I do. You watch and you take pieces that you'll apply, and then you add your own twist to it. I'm gonna knock this out, gonna close it up all the way. So I literally just knock that out. Then I'm gonna go to the next line. Literally just came up one notch. Some barbers didn't like these clippers with the levers. I was cool without them, but I do appreciate them more these days. But I don't need it. I'm a person where I feel where the lever is at, and I cut by sight more than steps. So, but I think especially for beginning barbers or barbers that are, still earlier on in their career, I think this is really cool, man. And why? So what? We could do it without the lever. We're so big on proving we don't need stuff. What about just adding efficiency to it? You know what I mean? What's wrong with that? So I'm gonna open it all the way. I just kept opening them up one notch at a time and just coming up. Again, this is another way you could approach your fades and tapers. But we in there now. What's up, Tone? Almost done. So now that's all I gotta do now is take this trimmer and knock that bottom line out ever so gently. Look down, sir, real tight, please. That's it, man. Like that's you want a simple taper fade technique. That's it right there. Then I would also always say look at it from the side again so you can catch different angles, especially if your light is not super bright. I usually have super bright lights, but this one has been going out over me, but we ain't gonna have no excuses. So you gotta, again, look at it at all angles. So now we're gonna do the same thing on the side. Boom, close it up all the way. Have a good weekend, man. Open it up a little bit more. Open it up another notch. Then I'm gonna open it up all the way. Then I'm just gonna tap. So then I'm gonna come back and reinforce that lineup. That lineup gonna keep it looking dramatic. Now we're gonna do the same thing over here. All right, man, so this is my flat top, man. Give me some. Be good, all right? Thank you for letting me shoot. All right, y'all, so that's my flat top tutorial. You could approach it so many different ways, man. I cut any hair, however it comes, but I really, really enjoy when people bring me a project like that, man. So thank y'all for tuning in to my barber world. Let me know if there's anything else that I can offer. Any other cuts y'all want to see me do, man. Any adventures or anything in the barbering world y'all want me to share with y'all, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. We got many more to come, man. I'm Lonnie Horne, the Barber Broker. Let's go.